Hope you all are well and good and continuing your studies very nicely. Very recently we have completed our midterm examination. I hope that each and every one of you have given your examination very nicely, and I also hope that you all will be getting good marks according to your performance. Now it's time to start the annual syllabus. As we are on the verge of the starting of our annual syllabus, the first chapter we will be starting is factors and multiples, chapter number 7. We are following the syllabus which we have got during the book distribution. According to that we are following, and the first chapter falls is factors and multiples in our annual syllabus, which we will be starting now. And this chapter is also very important for your upcoming classes, like in class 5 and 6, where the basic knowledge in factors and multiples will play a very key role in understanding the other important terms in mathematics. So in that case, you can consider this chapter as one of the most important chapter, and so you have to go through this chapter very nicely and very thoroughly. In this chapter, students, we will be covering 3 important parts. First part is the factor part, second is the multiples, and the last one is the divisibility rules. While I explain the main important concept in this chapter, students, you just try to find out what is the link between factors and multiples. This I'll be elaborating this in detail so that it's very clear to you, and factors and multiples both are related with each other. And you have to understand the relationship, how factors and multiples of any number are related with each other. Okay. There is not only relation, there is also quite many differences between them, and those relation with respect to similarities and differences both I am talking about. Relation means how it is related, means what are the similarities between the two things and what are the differences between the two things. Both the things should be clear to you, so that the main concept of this chapter is known to you. Okay, as our first topic in this chapter is factors, let us start with the factors. The first topic we will be covering here is factors. What is factor, students? If I ask you a very simple question, that what is called factor? Factor is of any number, is the number by which that number is divisible. That means factor is a number which divides a given number completely. Suppose if I have a number 12. Okay, let us write a very small number 6. I can express 6 as 2 into 3 or 3 into 2, anything. Okay, 2 into 3 into 1. More expansion if I do, it will be 2 into 3 into 1. So 6 is a number, and 2, 3 and 1 are the 3 different factors of 6. Why I am saying this 2, 3 and 1 are the factors of 6? Because if I divide 6 with 2, its remainder will be 0. That means 6 is completely divisible by 2, 3 and 1. So 2, 3 and 1 are the 3 factors of 6. So this is the main concept of factor. Factor is a number which divides a given number completely. There are many factors of any number. It can be 3, it can be 4, or it can be more than that. Now let us understand few more important properties of factor, so that you know the factor better. The first property of factor is that 1 is a common factor for every number. That means any number you take, 1 will be the factor of that number. Okay. Second property is that factors are the numbers which are always less than or equal to that number. That means if 6 is the number, 2 and 3 and 1 are the factors of 6. You can see here 2, 3, 1 are the factors of 6, and all these 3 numbers are lesser than 6. Also let me remind you that 6 is also a factor of 6. The number itself is also a factor of the number, like 6 has a factor 2, 3, 1 as well as 6. So whenever you find any factor of any number, the number whose factor you are finding, that number, all the factors will be lesser than that number or equal to that number. Another interesting fact about factor is that there is only one number which has only one factor, and that number is 1. 1 is only the number which has only one factor. Now if I ask you what is the factor of 1, it has no other factor other than 1. So 1 is only the number which has only single factor. Okay, factors are always limited. We don't have factors uncountable, or we don't have factors unlimited. Factor of any number is limited. Maybe it is 4, 5, 6 and 7 and 8 or more, 9 and 10, but it cannot be unlimited. So factors are always, the number of factors of any particular number is limited. So these were some properties of factors which you should know nicely. Okay, now the next topic under this factor is, okay, one more thing I would like to explain you, that students, with the help of factor we can describe two important kinds of number. Those two numbers are prime number and composite number. You all know about this, I guess. And prime number and composite number is as a term in mathematics which you are using many times. But if I ask you to define these two numbers, prime number and composite number, with the help of the concept of factor, so how will you define it? The definition will be like, prime numbers are the numbers which has only two factors. Those two factors are the 1 and the number itself. And composite number is a number which has more than two factors. It can be 1, it can be the number itself, but it will definitely have the other factor. So composite numbers are the numbers which has more than two factors. Maybe it is 3, 4, 5, 6 more. And prime numbers are the numbers which has only two factors, and those two factors are only 1 and the number itself. Examples of prime numbers are 3, 5, 7, 11. You see, 3 has only two factors, 1 and 3. 5 has only two factor, 1 and 5. 7 has only one factor, 1 and 7. And 11 has only two factor, 1 and 11. So in every number you see only two factors are there. One is the 1, which is the factor of every number, and the other is the number itself. So these are the prime numbers. What are the composite numbers which have more than two factors? Like it can be 6, it has 2, 3, 6, 1. It can be 8, it has 2, 4, 8, 1. So these are the numbers you see, it has more than two factors. So these are the composite number. So we can define prime numbers and composite number with the help of the concept of factors. Okay, now let's come to the next topic for this factor is prime factorization. What is prime factorization, students? Let us understand that. What is prime factorization? Prime factorization is a process of expressing any number with the help of the product of the primes. If I express any number with the help of the product of the primes, it's called the prime factorization method. This prime factorization is very, very important to determine the factors of any number, because generally when we determine the factors of any number, we basically use the process of prime factorization. So prime factorization is a process of expressing any number in the process of the product of the primes. Like if I have a number, suppose 20. 20 can be expressed as how? Okay, 20 can be expressed as 1 into 20 can be expressed as, suppose, 2 into 5. See, you see here 2 into 2, 4, 4 into 5, 20. So this is the very simple example of prime factorization. There are basically in your syllabus two methods are there by which you can find out the prime factorization of any number. Those two methods are factor tree method and the division method. I'm explaining both two methods to you so that you can understand. First method is factor tree method. Factor tree method. If I want to find the prime factorization of suppose 20 only by factor tree method, how will I do? Factor tree method, you will be doing like this. Circle this number 20, and this 20 can be expressed as 2 into 10. Now 10 can be expanded more. 10 will become 2 into 5, and this 2 will come down. Since 2, 2 and 5, these all numbers are prime numbers, we will end up here. Why we will end up here? Because this number cannot be expanded more, as 5, 2 and 2 are all prime numbers. So 20 can be expressed as 2 into 2 into 5, which is the prime factorization of 20, and the process is called factor tree method. Now the next method is division method. Division method is also very easy. Division method, in division method we will simply do like this. We'll write 20 here and we'll make a table like this. Now 20 is divisible by 2, that means 2 into how much? 2 into 10 will be 20. Again 10 is divisible by 2, 2 into 5. Since 5 is the prime number, I'll stop here. Okay, I can do it like this also. 20, let me take 2 into 10. I can also write here 5 into 2, no issue with that. Okay, both are same. So in this case it will be 20 equals to 2 into 2 into 5. 2 into 2 into 5. And in this case it will be 2 and 20 equals to 2 into 5 into 2. And you see here both are same. It will also give you 20, 2 2s are 4, 5 are 20. Here it will also give you 20, 2 into 5 into 2, 20. So both the cases are same. So you can either do this or you can do this also, and because both are same only, doesn't matter what number you are writing. You can write here 2 or you can write here 5, no problem. So this method is called division method. So whenever you are asked to find do the prime factorization of any number, you can apply any of the two methods. If you are asked to do it by particular division method only, then you have to do by division method, or if you are asked to do by factor tree method, then you have to do by factor tree method. And if you are not asked to do by any particular method, you can apply any method you want among these two. So these were the concept of factors. Now the next is common factor. If I give you two numbers, very simple number if I am giving you, suppose if I give you two number 3 and 6, and if I ask you to find the common factors of these two numbers, individually we will find the factor of these two numbers. 3 can be expressed as 1 into 3, or what are the factors of 3? Simply you just imagine what are the factors of 3. What are the numbers by which 3 is divisible? 1, definitely 1 will always be there. The next is 3, and we don't have any other factor of 3. 6, 1 will always be there. Next 2, yes, 2 3s are 6, that means 2 also. Next is 3, and the last one is 6. So what are the common factors of 3 and 6? You can see here 1 is there in both the numbers, definitely it will be there. 3 is also there in both the numbers. So the common factors of 3 and 6 are 1 and 3. So we have only two common factors, 1 and 3. 2 is here, 6 is here, but it's not here. So those 2 and 6 cannot be the common factor of both the numbers. So these were some basic concept about the factors, which will help you to solve your first exercise. Now let us move to the next part of our explanation video, which is multiples. Let us now move on to our next topic, multiples. What is multiples? Multiple of a number is a number by which the number is divisible. Multiple of a number is a number by which the number is divisible. Multiple of any number can be obtained by multiplying the number with the counting numbers. Suppose, in order to understand it, let us take a very simple example. Suppose if I want to find the multiple of 7. Okay. Now let me explain you with very basic facts. You all are aware of it. If I ask you what is the table of 7, you will. So let me write, students, the table of 7 here. 7 ones are 7, 7 twos are 14, 7 threes are 21, 7 fours are 28, and so on. 7 tens are 70. Students, this 7, 14, 28, 20, 21, 28, then 35, 42, these all numbers are the multiple of this 7. So basically we see that all the multiples of any number is greater than that number or equal to that number. 7 is itself the multiple of 7. This is the first fact of multiple which you have to know, that 7 is itself the multiple of 7. So any number is itself the multiple of that number, and the other multiples are always greater than that number. And one more thing, students, like here you see students here that 7 tens is 70, but this goes on and on, like 7 11s are 77, 7 12s are 84, 7 13s are 91, and so on. So this number will go on and on. So that is the reason why we say that multiple of any number is endless. That means if I ask you that how many multiples can a number have? A number can have unlimited number of multiples because it don't have any limit. It goes on and on uncountably. And it does not have any limit. It does not end at any particular number. So multiples are basically multiple of any number is basically unlimited. So this is the next fact. Multiples of any number is equal to that number or always greater than that number. This is also one of the most important property, as I said before. Multiple of any number like is divisible by 1, like 1 is the common factor of every number. Multiple of a number is also divisible by 1. Multiple of every number is divisible by 1. So these are some important properties of multiples which you should keep in your mind. Okay, now let us move to our next topic, is the common multiple. How we will find the common multiple of any 2 or 3 numbers. Let us take an example for that. Let us take an example of very small number. Let me take suppose 4 and 6. There are two numbers 4 and 6. Let us find the common multiples of these two numbers. So the nearest common multiple of these two numbers will be like 4. What are the multiples of 4? 4 ones are 4, then 4 twos are 8, 4 threes are 12, 16. Okay, I will be going on further later on. Before that, let us write 6 also, so that if we see that the number is we get the number of multiple 6 equivalent with 12, then we will stop the calculation right there only. That means 6 will be 6 ones are 6, 6 twos are 12, 6 threes are 18. We don't have to go more further because we have found a number which is common to both the numbers. Like we have found 12 is present here and 12 present here also. So 12 is the common multiple of 4 and 6. Okay, next common multiple will be 16, then 20, then 24 here. It will be 6 4s are 24. So next common multiple will be 24. So if I ask you only one common multiple, it will be 12. If I ask you the two common multiples, it will be 12 and 24. And if I ask you three common multiples, then we'll go on more finding the next numbers further, so that we get the next common multiple. So depends upon how many common multiples you are asked for, you will be proceeding in that way. So this is the process of finding the common multiples of any two numbers. So students, these were the basic facts about multiples. In these two topics like factors and multiples, I have already explained. If you think it very nicely, you will find some differences is obviously there, and one main similarity is there. What is the similarity? Can you answer me that? If I say you, if I have a number, suppose 5, if I ask you what is the similarity between the factor of 5 and the multiple of 5, the most and the important similarity of the multiple and factor of 5 is that 5 is itself the factor of 5 and 5 is itself the multiple of 5. That means if the number is 5, 5 is the factor as well as multiple of 5. So a same number can be a multiple and factor of this given number of 5. So this is the one of the similarity, very important similarity, and differences are many, as I have said you, depending upon the properties of factors are different. Factors are limited and is always equal to or lesser than the given number, and multiples are unlimited, is always equal to or greater than the given number. These are basic differences between the factors and multiples. Like more differences is that factors are actually the divisible number by the main number. Multiples are always a multiplied number of the given number. Multiples are obtained by multiplying the given number with the counting numbers. Factors are obtained by finding the numbers which are divisible by the given number. So these are the basic differences between the two. Now let us move on to our next and very important topic, which is the divisibility rule. Before we start, let us understand what is divisibility rule and why it is important. Divisibility rules are the set of rules which will help you to find out whether the given number is divisible by 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., etc., without dividing it. By just simple rules, you can easily understand whether the given number is divisible or not by 2, 3, 5, 10, etc., without actually dividing it. Generally, what we are aware with the fact that a number is divisible if the remainder is 0. So whenever we want to determine whether the number is factor or not, we can see by dividing it and see whether the remainder is 0 or not. But it will be a little bit lengthier process because you have to go on dividing the number. So if you don't want to divide the number, divisibility rule will help you to find out the number is whether it is divisible or not, just by very simple steps and in very easy manner, in very shortcut manner, you can determine without dividing the number. So this is divisibility rule. In this chapter, we will be studying basically the divisibility rule of 2, 3, 5 and 10. But basically in your higher classes, you will be understanding there are many divisibility rules there are actually the divisibility rules of each and every number. Like divisibility rule of not only 2, 3, 5 and 10, but 4, 6, 8, then 9, 11, 15, 20, 18, 24, 30, every number has the divisibility rule. The concept will be very, very clear to you in your upcoming classes. Since you are starting this topic very firstly in your academic classes, so we will be now only discussing with basic divisibility rules of only 4 numbers, 2, 3, 5 and 10. So first let's discuss about the divisibility rule of 2. What is the divisibility rule of 2? Divisibility rule of 2 is that any number, if you have to see the last digit, that means the unit digit of the number. If the unit digit of a number is an even number like 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8, then that number is said to be divisible by 2. Suppose if I give you a number 768, what is the digit at the units place or ones place? The number is 8. And 8 is an even number. So if you see that the digit at the ones place, that is the last digit, is an even number, then that number is the complete 768. That means the complete number is divisible by 2. But if I say you 767, see the last digit is not an even number, it's an odd number, so it will not be divisible by 2. So a number is divisible by 2 if its ones digit is an even number, that is 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8. Okay. Next divisibility rule is of 3. In order to know what is the divisibility rule of 3, you have to do the addition of all the digits. You have to find the sum of all the digits. Suppose if I have a number, let us take the same number 768. If I want to find whether this 768 is divisible by 3 or not, you will simply add on all the digits here. It will be 7 plus 6 plus 8. That means it will be 13 plus 8, 21. You can stop here or you can continue like 2 plus 1 is 3. Now, after adding all the digits, I am getting 3. That means I am getting a number which is a multiple of 3. So, the number is divisible by 3. So, you have to go on adding the digits until and unless you get a single digit, and that single digit, if it is a multiple of 3, like if it is 3, 6 or 9, then the number is divisible by 3. Understood? Okay, one more example so that you understand it better. 1 to 1. 1 plus 2 plus 1, it will be simply 4. But 4 is not divisible by 3. 4 is not a multiple of 3. So 121 is also not divisible by 3. Now let us come to the next number, 5. 5 is very easy. It's just by looking the number you can say. How? If the unit digit of the number, that means the one digit of a number is either 0 or 5, then the number is divisible by 5. Suppose if I say you the number is 720, the last digit is 0. The unit digit is 0. Or if I say you 725, the last digit is 5. Unit digit is 5. So in case if the last digit is 0 or 5, that means the number is divisible by 5. So if you see that the unit digit of any number is 0 or 5, then and only then that number is divisible by 5. And for 10, divisibility rule of 10, 10 is the most simplest one here. Only you have to see whether the unit digit is 0 or not, and that's it. If the unit digit is 0, that means 720. If the unit digit is 0, then that number is divisible by 10. and if the unit digit is not 0, if it's any other digit, then it will not be divisible by 10. If I ask you, it is 725, last digit is 5, not 0, so it's not divisible by 10. So the divisibility rule of 10 is that the unit digit, one's digit, should be 0. Then only then the number is divisible by 10, otherwise not. So these were some basic facts, basic rules of divisibility rule of 2, 3, 5 and 10, which will help you to understand, to know whether the given number is divisible by 2, 3, 5 and 10 in very easy manner, in a very short manner, without consuming much time. So students, in this chapter we have learned basically about few topics like factors, multiples and divisibility rule. These three were the main subtopics of this chapter, and I have elaborated all those things which are present in your chapter. It will help you to solve the chapter. So students, with the hope that you all have understood the chapter very nicely, which you have understood all the topics of this chapter very nicely, with this hope I end up my video here. Thank you very much students for watching the video. Thank you.